Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Sunday, the 1st of September. In today's news, there isn't a lot of news. There is, weirdly, a piece of news that is kind of bizarre because, as you know, on Friday, the transfer window closed in England. Not a lot going on. The whole summer, speculation. And then Fleming leaves, we bring in Coburn and Ivanovic. And here we are, 2 days later, and we are already being linked with new players in the next transfer window from footballleagueworld.co.uk, which, to be fair to them, they didn't initiate this. They got a source for this, so it's Alan Nixon, and that's what he does. But I mean, the transfer window doesn't open for till January the 1st next year, literally next year, and they're already on it because they know. I don't know if you know. Been doing this channel for a while, maybe for 4 years. The views go up in the summer transfer window, especially, and a little bit for the January transfer window. Everybody seems to be interested in the players that we're signing and speculation. So that's why you get this from these websites. Because as well, like in terms of the match day stuff, that's not what I'm about really. And I just read the match reports, and like if you've been to the game or you watched it on television, you've seen it already. So why do you need to watch me talking about it? Much interesting people doing it, such as Acting Mill podcast. That's a lot more interesting in terms of capturing the match day experience and disseminating that out to you, all you guys who weren't there and want to feel like you were there. So get on that if you can. But here we go. So footballleagueworld.co.uk. Bundesliga side hiring January swoop for Oxford United star amid Mill interest. Yeah, that's him on the left, on the right there, on the right. Now, we were linked with some Oxford players in the summer because after our season finished, Oxford are in the playoffs. Obviously, they got promoted through the playoffs. And Neil Harris was seen at one of their semi-finals. So, speculation was that he was there to watch a player. But then you think, well, now we know how it's kind of transpired behind the scenes. How true was that? Because Steve Gallen is the one basically trying to sign the players, unless we've got a situation where Neil Harris has to literally go out and scout players himself that he wants, and then Gallen scouts players that he wants, and then they have to come together and say, okay, that one for you, this one for me. Kind of weird, but yeah. So Bundesliga club Holstein Kiel in the north of Germany are planning a January move for Oxford United striker Mark Harris. And the news comes courtesy of Alan Nixon. And if you don't know who that was, I think it was a journalist for the Telegraph, and he got quite a following on Twitter posting up transfer speculation. He seemed to be someone who knew what he was talking about, so that's why he got a bit of a following. So much so that he then created his own Patreon so that people would have to pay to message him, and he would respond, and he would make some money out of it rather than just be on Twitter, which is, we obviously don't make that much money out of that. He's also reported that Millwall took an interest in him during the latter stages of the summer transfer window. The U's striker has enjoyed a magnificent start to the campaign, scoring Oxford's first goal after they returned to the Championship against Norwich City. He followed this up with a goal from close range against Coventry City to level the game before recording a goal of the season contender against Blackburn Rovers. Scoring 3 goals in his opening 3 league games before yesterday's clash against Preston North End, he also got himself on the score sheet against the Lily Whites, meeting Josh McEachran's cross to score an important goal for his team. Things haven't always gone Harris's way at the Kassam Stadium, with the Welshman not always performing well last season. But he still managed to get on the score sheet several times and played a big part in Des Buckingham's side's promotion back to the second tier. So this is from last season. 55 appearances in all competitions, 19 goals. He may not have scored in the playoffs, but he was an impressive figure and is continuing to prove his worth after his departure from Cardiff City. It may only be a matter of time before he moves on if he can continue to shine, but the Welshman has built a real connection with his current side's fan base, and Oxford will not want to let him go on the cheap, especially after seeing him thrive during the early stages of this term. Mark Harris attracting interest from Millwall and Germany. German top-tier side Holstein Kiel and the U's league rivals Millwall were both thought to be interested in the move for the striker during the latter stages of the summer window. Both sides made an inquiry for Harris according to Nixon, but neither side were able to get a deal over the line in time, which was a big boost for Oxford. The German side are thought to be planning on returning for the Welshman during a January window, and Nixon hasn't ruled out the possibility of the Lions reviving their interest too. Harris joined Oxford on a long-term deal last summer though, so any team that wants to recruit him will need to fork out a considerable amount for his signature. And then they're talking about Oxford, but there you go. They're already talking about transfer speculation for the next window. Mark Harris, and if he's scoring goals in the Championship, he's going to attract a hell of a lot of interest, so that will kind of rule us out. I think we probably kind of missed the boat out on that. If we were going to get him, we should have got him before the start of the season, and we may have been able to get him. But obviously, it's worth a lot more now that he's a proven Championship scorer. So there you go. And that is the only bit of news today. So as usual on Sundays, if you're not a regular, we talk about the stats from yesterday's game, because got to make a video. It's the Daily Millwall. So here we are, and here we go. This is from whoscored.com. It's the match report from the game. As you can see on the right hand side, Millwall dominating the top performers in ratings, total shots, tackles and dribbles. If you look at the match summary, Millwall created a high number of chances relative to their possession. We stole the ball often from the opposition, were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from set pieces, were strong at finishing. But we did lose possession often, and that's no bad thing. And Sheffield Wednesday had no strengths and no weaknesses. Millwall tacked down the middle, had a high shot frequency when in possession, favoured long balls, favoured through balls. And as you can see here, 18 attempts on goal, 18 to 4, 8 to 3 open play, 10 to 1 set piece, and that means with those 3 goals from 18 shots, that is a 16% conversion rate, which is about standard for us, really. And there you go. We were mostly shooting down the middle, apparently, but mostly going down the wings. Incredibly, Sheffield Wednesday are perfectly balanced in terms of 40% on each wing and then 20% in the middle. Shot directions. If we can get this to load. Shot directions. Wow, there you go. That's what you want, isn't it? You go down the wings, you put the crosses in, and you score the goals. Shot zones. Again, 39% Millwall shots from inside the 6-yard box. Action zones. Very quiet defence, 24%. Player positions. Ooh, that is interesting. So, you see here, Joe Bryan further forward the most, basically on the halfway line. This is the average position, if you know. This is the average position based on the tracking software that they use to track players. And you can see furthest forward is Duncan Watmore. He's number 19. 21 you can't see because he's hiding underneath number 39, which is George Honeyman. And Romain Esse, the furthest back, being the link-up man and playing next to number 24. And you can see for that goal, that first goal, brilliant move there from Dinor, 1-2 pass with Romain Esse, who then threaded it through for Duncan Watmore, and then who crossed it into, well, I think he shot actually, if you look, I think he shot and it got a deflection towards Coburn, but take that all day long. Sheffield Wednesday very compact in the middle of the park. Weird. What kind of formation is that? 4-4-7-0. Bizarre. Now, moving on to this page from whoscored.com. Here are the match events. Obviously, very feisty first half. Plenty of chances. Not really anything clinical. Everyone thought we scored when Ryan Leonard hit the thing at the back of the goal. The stanchion, I think they call it. And then it went across the net, and people at the wrong angle thought that was in. But no. And it was all in the second half. And you can see, you're playing well when the opposition make the first substitutions. And they did. They made 3. So again, same old. That famous hour. We're not playing well, lads, so I'm going to give you a talking at half time, and then you go out for 15 minutes, and then if you're not still doing well, we're going to make some changes. And they were the first one to hit with the changes. Josh Coburn coming off after running himself into the ground on the 78th minute. Romain Esse getting booked. And then they make another 2 changes, so they're all changed out. And then we respond by making a few changes of our own. And then we get the 3rd goal, which sealed it at that time, because we don't really know how much extra time there's going to be. In this day and age, could be 10 minutes. It did start out a bit mental, didn't it, when they would add in 20 minutes on, but I think they kind of dialed it down. I think they've got told maybe by the TV companies to dial it back to at least to a maximum of 10 minutes. Because you never see like 15 and 16 and 17 anymore. It's just unheard of. Even though they've got the ball, and the ball can go up to 99, so, but that would be crazy. So, if you look at the top left and top right, where the club badges are, you can see the average player rating for each team is 7.13 for Millwall, is 6.12 for Sheffield Wednesday. At this level of 2 teams in the same league, that is an insane difference. A whole 1 point. That is insane. You very rarely see that. You very rarely do. And you can see they've given it to Denor. Denor was the man of the match, according to the statistics. 8.1. Although tied with Jake Cooper on 8.1. Honeyman 8.0. And the new guy 7.9. Joe Bryan 8.0. So we carry on with Joe Bryan's schizoid performances. In one game he's dog shit, and one game he's amazing. It was pretty good yesterday. I think nearly all of the team were pretty good, really. So let's have a look at what we got. So 18 to 4 shots. Everybody had a shot except for Saville and Honeyman, which is interesting. So Honeyman has probably not buried a couple of chances. He probably could have been on 3 goals by now, but he had a few chances he missed. One was one that hit the post, come back to him, and then he kicked it at the goalkeeper. That not in yesterday's game, in previous game. I think it was, when was that? I'm not too sure, but maybe he's been told, you just run around and set other people away. Which, if that's the plan, I mean, it's working pretty well, no? 5 shots from Watmore, 3 from Coburn, 2 from SA, 3 from Tanganga, and Jake Cooper, 1 for 1. 1 shot, 1 goal. Bosh. So there you go. Not bad, eh? Possession-wise, again, it's not about possession, it's about creating chances which create goals. 39% possession to 60. Who cares? And you can see Denor 5.3% of the match possession with him. And Honeyman not far behind, 4.9. Pass success percentage, not the best, 67, but yeah. You can see Denor 86. All of the front 3, that's pretty good. I call them the front 3, you know what I mean. The front, I don't know how you call them, the 3 attacking midfielders, I guess. The front midfielders. Is that a thing? 71, 76 and 77, which is what you want. Because generally, the striker, he's up front on his own, he's surrounded. And even if you got 2 up front, they don't really pass that well. So you can see Coburn's on 56% accuracy and Ugbo's on 67. So there you go. Leonard 50. I think Leonard was the out ball for pinging it long. Dribbles 6 to 9. Aerials 1, 15 to 20. Tanganga with 5, Cooper with 5. Fantastic stuff. But how do you say that? Iekwe with 8. Bernard with 4. Tackles, whoa, 32 to 18. Obviously, we saw the referee just blowing every couple of seconds, every 2 minutes. Stop, start, blowing his whistle. 32 to 18. So in that game, there was 50 tackles. And I think the referee probably blew his whistle 50 times. Incredibly, so everyone having a tackle except for Tanganga. Even the Romain Esse with 4 tackles. 4 tackles. Mentioned this in the last stats video, how many tackles Esse had. He's on it. He knows that he picks it up. So okay, I know how to play football. I know how to pass the ball. I know how to do flicks and tricks. How do I tackle? Okay. He's getting it. He's getting it, and he's going to be absolutely fantastic, no doubt. Corners 6 to 6. So these are players who won the corners, not the ones who took the corners. Dispossessed 9 to 20. Yeah, that high press is getting on them, eh? Dispossessed of the ball by 20 times because they were doing this stupid tippy-tappy football, and we just run at them. Got the ball off them. Let them pass it around, and as soon as they try going forward with it, get off them. That's it. That's how it goes. Crowd of 14,905. I bet there's going to be more at the next game. Although I think that's an early kickoff, isn't it? So probably not. That is on Sky Plus. I bet there's going to be a lot at the QPR game because that is one of the most highly sought after away tickets in recent times. Is QPR away. Is always clamber to get those tickets. So let's move on to this. It's a list of some of the stats that we've seen. Let's have a look how close it was between the ratings between Casper Denor and Jake Cooper. Well, they rounded Jake Cooper up. He's on 8.8. So 8.08. Casper Denor 8.14 with an assist. Joe Bryan 7.95. George Humlin 7.95. Josh Coburn 7.9. George Saville 7.55. So what we got? We've got 8 players on 7 or more. Well, we got 6 players on 7, 2 players on 8. Bosch, masterclass, and bizarrely, Romain Esse on 6.81. So obviously, in terms of stats doesn't really tell you the whole story, does it? Because Romain Esse was outstanding yesterday, and as you would expect to see, all of the substitutes are at the bottom of the ratings. So, shots on target, we had 18, was it? 18. 5 to 2 from Duncan Moore, 3 to 1 Coburn Tanganga, 3 to 0. So, Jake Cooper 1 and 1 in terms of 1 shot, 1 on target. So, 18, how many were actually on target? 4. So that is incredibly clinical. That is incredibly clinical. And this is what I said the other day. Like when the thing with the Leighton Orient game where we only had 5 shots and none of them were on target, and we were passing the ball around and trying to be clever with it. We can't do that. We need to go more direct because we need to create more chances because we're not that clinical. And you can see here we had 18 chance attempts, only 4 on target, which is, if you think about it, that's kind of fucking dog shit. But the ones that were on target, four of them, we scored 3. So there you go. Which probably suggests that Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper and their defence is a bit ropey, but hey ho. Touches to the ball. Joe Bryan, 71. Well, interesting. So 71, well above George Hyndman. Obviously, George Hyndman did go off. That was late. So he basically played the whole game, 59. Then Denor with 56. So that's interesting. Why so many more touches? Does that suggest he's not really good at controlling the ball? I don't know. Or, oh no, he took the set pieces. That was it. That's it. He did take the set pieces. Let's go again with that. Try again. Yep. Was anyone offside? SA and Coburn. Dispossessed. Unscheduled touches, which is poor ball control. Okay. Defensively. Who did all the defensive stuff? Everybody, really. But the top was Joe Bryan with 5. Leonard with 4. Saville with 4. Romain Esse with 4. Interceptions. Joe Bryan, Saville, Honeyman. Clearances. Here we go. So I think it's certainly... This is the kind of matches up to the last league game that Tanganga had an insane amount of clearances. So I think it's on him to clear the ball, and that's what he does. 7 clearances. The next one is Saville with 3, then Cooper with 3. Saville's numbers, these are good numbers. So he's put in a shift, and he's just kind of gone under the radar because everyone else has kind of done pretty like either scored or done well. Block shots, not many because they only had 4 shots, was it? So 2. One of them was saved, so I guess one was... Well, let's have a look. Where are we? So shots, they had 4. They had 1 shot on target, so Jensen only had to make 1 save. 2 of the shots were blocked, so one of them must have been skew with. So there you go. That's what it's about. Shot creation. Shot creation. If you only have 1 shot on target, you can only score 1 goal. Now, moving on to this. Most passes. Interesting. So we've seen Joe Bryan has the most touches of the ball. Not the most passes. Casper Denor 43. And that gives him 86.1. So he's clearly the standout there. Which is what we expected from him. He kind of went off the boil a bit. But he's come back now. He kind of got dropped at the end of the last season when Neil Harris was trying to keep us up. And he's come back, and here we go. He's doing what we thought he was going to do. He's doing it well. He's doing it well. If we go to long balls and accurate long balls, Jensen 21 and 4. So even though we now got Coburn up front, kicking still a bit of an issue now. 23 passes, 21 were long, 2 were short. There you go. Now, moving on to fbref.com to check out the XG, because we know we love the XG. 2.7 to 0.2. So the XG matched the scoreline, 3-0. If we go down, we can see what we can see. Again, yeah, 1 save. Each keeper only made 1 save of the shots that were on target. Here are the numbers. Fouls, 16 to 13 fouls, 6 to 6 corners, 15 to 14 crosses, 468 to 622 touches, 32 to 18 tackles, 11 to 12 interceptions, 15 to 20 aerials won, 22 to 17 clearances, 2 to 1 offsides, 2 to 7 goal kicks, 24 to 20 throw-ins, and 81 to 55 long balls. So that wasn't bad for a long ball game. I'm sure you will agree. I'm not going to look at that because, to be honest, that bores me sometimes, you know. I'm going to look at this, which, as you can see, this is a list of the shots. It's a list of all the shots. We've got the minute of the shot, we got the player who took the shot, we got the team that they play for, we got the XG, we got a post-shot XG, which is expected goals based on how likely the goalkeeper is to save the shot. The outcome, the distance from goal, the body part that was used, some notes if it was a volley, a free kick, a penalty, etc., etc., and shot creating action 1, shot creating action 2. So shot creating action 1 is the assist, and they have, if we look here, they gave that Duncan Watmore was a shot. So the computer model that they use to show what this was tells us that Duncan Watmore should take a shot, and it got deflected to Josh Coburn. He didn't cross it in. So there you go. That's what happened. Yeah, so shot creating action 1 is the last pass before the shot, or the last event before the shot. Shot creating action 2 is kind of trying to give some credit to the person further down the chain who passed it on. And if you look through, you can see Joe Bryan's in a lot of these. George Honeyman's in quite a few as well. Romain Esse. So yeah, let's so obviously first shot of the game, Sheffield Wednesday, 3 minutes in, right footed from 17 yards out, blocked. And then it's all Millwall. It's all Millwall. Look at all of these shots. Now, what have we got? We got off target. We got blocked. We got off target. We got blocked. We got blocked. We got off target. Off target. Off target. Blocked. Off target. And it's a healthy mix of left foot, head, right foot from 21 yards, 6 yards. So there you go. We were having a right old go. But then second half, free kick, 27 yards out, left foot. Barry Bannon. Off target. And then it goes back to the Millwall show. Tanganga 57, Watmore 57, Watmore 58, Josh Coburn 58. And as I said, they've given that as a dunk on Watmore shot. So he shot, it got deflected. Coburn kicked it in. And then they have a go. Max Lowe, Josh Windass, not very good. And then we have Duncan Watmore. Watmore's goal. And you can see here, so Joe Bryan, if we go up to 71st minute, two events. Joe Bryan with the corner. Casper Denor. I'm pretty sure that was George Savile. I think they got that wrong. So that corner that we scored, that was clearly pre-planned, and it's clearly a very good corner, underrated. What you saw was Joe Bryan swinging it in, and he kicked it. So he kind of did like a chip shot in golf, chipping it onto the green. He chipped it in so that it didn't even reach the goal. It kind of landed on the ground before the 6-yard box. So that took the kind of power out of the ball. And then whoever was running on, which I think they say it's Casper, I'm pretty sure it was George. He come in, he whips it across the goal line, and then Josh Coburn takes a shot, and then Duncan Watmore takes a shot. The reason why that's so good, you've got Jake Cooper at the back post. They clearly think, oh, here we go, they're going to whip it into Jake Cooper, or it's an in-swinger, so whoever's blocking the goalkeeper, like, oh, you might go in. You know, we saw Jensen had a problem with that, so they're worried. Like, the goalkeeper's got to stay back on his line because it's an in-swinger. It might swing in, can't come rushing out. So when the ball doesn't go to the back post, doesn't swing into the goal, it's actually falling short, and it looks like it's been fucked up. It looks like, oh shit, he's fucked it up. He hasn't. Then they all relax. They start to come out. Boom. No, don't come out. Don't move forward, because that was pre-planned. George Savile runs over, whips it across the goal. Oh, you all switched off. You switched off because you thought it was a fucked up corner. That's why it's so good. That is why it's so good. And I believe we are led to believe that Adam Barrett works on the corners. So thumbs up for that. And then you can see and again, Casper Denor, that pass for Jake Cooper's goal, the cross, again with the chip golf analogy, the little backspin that you put on it to take it up and over all the players, because there's so many players in there in the orange shirts for Sheffield Wednesday, so many. It was a crowd of a sea of players. For him to chip it up and then backspin so he could go over them, but not go over and out. He went up and come back down in the middle or the back post rather than going over towards the sideline. fantastic stuff from Casper tonight. Absolutely brilliant. And you can see why he got man of the match according to the stats from whoscored.com. So there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.